Hello and welcome back to Your Next Car Online. My name is Danny Nevill and Your Next Car is the easiest and best way to find your next car. Okay, so today we have the BMW M4 Convertible Competition. As we can see, the BMW M4 Competition with the black kidney grills sporting the M4 badge just at the front below the BMW logo. This is in a San Marino blue exterior with a Silverstone blue interior. It looks stunning. It has the sort of semi-blacked out alloys, and overall this car just looks mean, modern, and everything you expect from a BMW M car really. High performance, you're going to notice it on the road. It looks spectacular and we all love it and admire it as we go past. So if we start off with the lights, as you can see, everyone knows the iconic design of the BMW lights. When you see them coming up behind you on the motorway, instantly you know what car's coming up. And when you see the flared out grille and the wide stance that this M car takes, you're going to be moving to the left hand side, letting the M car through. If we now just switch on the lights, you can see that beautiful LED headlight just really beam. And on the bonnet, the aggressive bump and stance that it takes just looks stunning. When you lock the vehicle, 3 flashes just to let you know it's locked. And overall, this car is all about you as the driver. The wing mirrors are also a standout, noticeable element with the M cars. It has the flared out, sort of semi-bridged wing mirror, and instantly you know it's the M car behind you. You've got the 444 spoke alloys. They look absolutely stunning, particularly in this specification where they're slightly stained out, giving it a darker, more aggressive look. You can get those as well in just standard silver, and I also believe you can get it in a blacked out design as well. Take your pick, you've got 3 options available to you. All the M cars come with the aggressive indented fin with the M4 logo located as well. What you'll notice with the M cars is they don't limit, or they're certainly generous with the labelling of the M, so everyone knows what you're wearing. You can see it on the alloys here, on the badge on the side, inside the car, even on the headrests and constraints. On the wing mirrors you'll see the indicators just flash here as well. So you can see it's flashed nicely. And then you'll see at the front here, this has the standard brakes, but you can upgrade to carbon ceramics for around £7,000 extra. This one is the convertible, so as you can see, unlike a lot of other convertibles, this actually has the hard top roof. So rather than the soft tops or the material-based roofs, which can collect dirt, dust and grit, the hard top just looks great all the time because it's seamless. And the way BMW have designed this is just 10 out of 10. It breaks just here and just there, so you've got the lovely lines of the car unbroken from a material roof, and it just weathers any type of season, whether it's got snow, rain, wet, autumn leaves and so forth. You're not going to get damage, stainage or fade, because a lot of the material roofs you can get for convertibles tend to fade from sunlight, water damage, snow damage, etc. So this one's going to be brilliant and beautiful in all weathers, all seasons, all year round. You can see here the black M4 badging. It just looks brilliant, because when people come up behind the car, they're going to look and see what M car is that? It's the M4. Everyone knows the M3s and 4s are very iconic. At the back here, you have the blacked out quad exhaust system. It has an awesome tune. People hear you coming down, roaring down the roads, starting the engine, and the only thing you won't be popular with is the neighbours when they hear this engine start up. Other than that, everyone will want to be your best friend, so here, an absolutely iconic beast roaring around the roads. The rear lights, I love the rear lights you have on the M4, and you've got the central light particularly when you brake. And what I think the M cars have done particularly well, as they are high performance vehicles, is when you brake very hard in the M cars, you do get the flashing effect and the hazards. So just say you was going 70 miles per hour and you broke really hard, all those hazard lights are going to flash and alert the person behind you that you're braking hard and to avoid hitting or collisioning with your vehicle. So we've covered a lot of the outside. I must also highlight the wheels. If you notice the wheel setup here, they're very large, bigger than ever in terms of the wheels setup and structure you have on the M cars, and they seem to be getting bigger year after year. The particular brakes, if you look at the disc brakes on this vehicle, they've got huge discs front and rear, and that's really important on a high performance car because you are going to be accelerating hard, you are going to be braking harshly, you have got the potential high speed you're going to be using this vehicle, particularly if you track the car. If you're going to be on track, you need great brakes, and this car has beautiful brakes for road use, but also track use. And what I mean by that is this: when you're on a track, you can hit them hard, you can stop, and you will stop suddenly. However, on the road, it has a long braking facility. You've got a long braking parameter on this vehicle, where if you press the brakes, you can softly brake. So the driver, the passengers aren't jogging and jolting back and forth because you have got a long braking facility here. However, if you do slam on the brakes, you are going to get that instant stop, and this car is going to come to a sudden halt very quickly. You've got the lovely bonnet sort of bulge here. Everyone always asks, can they see the engine when they see that bulge? Because they obviously know it's going to be a beast engine. Just here we have the head-up display, and what this does is it projects the speed, navigation, your audio menu, anything you want on your main menu, in particular whilst you're driving, in front of you on your actual screen, on your windscreen. So what does that do for you as a driver? That means you're not looking down at a satellite navigation, you're not looking to the left to see your sat-nav or any other display. You're not even looking down to the dash where your instrument cluster is. You are looking straight ahead at the road, what's in front of you, and you're also able to view key information all the time. It's in front of you right there. So with BMW vehicles, you have the option for comfort access, which means you don't have to take the key out of your pocket. The car will recognise you're at close proximity to the vehicle. You pull the door open and straight in you go. So on this vehicle in particular, what I like about the BMWs, noticeably on the M3s and 4s, are the doors aren't too wide. They're wide enough to look great, but they're not too wide where you can't get in and out of the car. So if you park in car parks or multi-level stories, you can get in and out quite easily because the thickness of the door is not too bad either. So that's something to think about practicality. If we now look at the inside here, with the M cars, you get the iconic stitching of the red and blue. So it looks absolutely gorgeous, as you can see here, and it just ties in beautifully to the mechanism that sits onto the actual seat. You have the blue and red stitching on the steering wheel, which looks gorgeous. You then have the M4 logo on the seat itself, which also lights up when you turn the vehicle on and off. So you've got a beautiful illuminating light of the M4 logo. When you get in the vehicle, you can sit in comfortably, and there's no lack of space. So this is actually my personal vehicle, and I've owned both an M4 and M3, both of this class and style actually. And what I've noticed with the M4 in particular is the difference in the seats. If you recall, the M3 has sort of cut out seats from the rear of the seating position, whereas the M4 seats almost sculpt around your body and comfortably hold you in position, whereas the M3 sort of locks you in position. With a convertible, of course, you can take the roof down, and I'll show you that in a minute. What that enables you to do is, of course, enjoy the sunlight. And if you haven't experienced a convertible before, it is a different driving experience. It feels in between having a car and having a motorbike, in that you take in much more of the road, you understand what's going on around you more, you feel more connected to the road in the overall experience. So if we now look at the interior, you've got a lovely steering wheel. It feels solid, it feels racy, it feels aggressive, it feels muscly, it feels like a muscle car sort of feeling to it. You've got beautiful black and silver paddle shifters behind. Here it's almost like a games controller where you can select up and down your volume, the M modes on your car. You can select whether you want to have cruise control on. You can flick between the modes of the vehicle, audio, Bluetooth and so forth. I like the gear stick, so you've got the DCT gearbox, and what's quite unusual with a DCT or a gearbox of this kind is that you don't have that pull or the track of an automatic or a traditional auto, whereas in a traditional auto you take a foot off the brake, car starts to creep forward. In the DCT it just sits there. It's almost like being in full neutral. So it's quite different to other cars where you get that pull and the car automatically pulls you forward and you take the foot off the brake. However, when I'm in traffic, I often just take the foot off the brake and just sit there with my knee very rested comfortably. Inside, you've got plenty of storage. You can have your phone inside the car under the armrest, and you've got wireless charging there. You have your up and down for the roof buttons, and again, you've got a lovely twizzle facility in the middle, so you can just flick up and down all of the stations, go into media, press a button, go into maps, go into navigation, go into your main menu. It's really, really easy, particularly when you're driving along. Rather than a touchscreen, the first thing you do is you look away from where you're supposed to be driving, so you're then touching the screen. This does have a touchscreen. However, you always use the sort of what I call the swivelly facility in the middle, so you can just spin between all your menus, your media, your communication, navigation, your connected drive, your vehicle status and notifications. Super, super easy, really, really safe. You have space for 2 cups, so you and someone else can have their cups in the car easily. What I particularly like about BMW cars is the facility to save numbers or destinations or stations on the 1 to 8 key facility you can see just above the CD player. So for example, on number 1 you can have one of your contacts, and when you press that button it automatically calls that contact for you. So if you're in traffic or if you're on the move, you can just press number 1, and that's probably the main person you call on a regular basis. In terms of glove box, you've got plenty of space. I always carry a couple of pairs of sunglasses, one for me and a passenger. That's super, super great. You've got the leg extenders in the seats, which are really comfortable, giving you more bolstering and support. And then the rear seats, as I say, I'll show you those in a minute, but they're plenty of space for an adult. You've got the Harman Kardon sound system throughout the car, so back and front speakers, and you can speak to your local BMW dealer or used car dealer to get all the specification on those, so you can get the car exactly how you want and spec it accordingly. But overall, the BMW M4 ticks pretty much all the boxes. Okay, so if we demonstrate the roof and how that comes down. So, you have to be in the vehicle. That's a security feature actually that BMW rolled out, because previously on older models, people were able to manipulate the keys and the system to essentially drop the roof without being in the vehicle. So now you have to be in the vehicle of the BMWs to drop the roof, and that's across all models. You then just push the button, pull the button up, and then you have a very fast folding of the roof. I'll get the exact stats, but I'm saying it's about 8 seconds to dismantle the roof. And guess what? In the BMWs, you don't have to get out of the vehicle. You literally just sit in here, relax, and let the automated mechanics just do all that work for you. And then also pulls the windows up if you want to in here as well. And then if you want the windows down, just push the button and they will drop. There we go. The sound system is actually brilliant in the BMW. Obviously I drive lots of cars, and you get this sort of submersive surround system. It just sounds clear. I love the Harman Kardon setup, and overall, people just love the sound of the vehicle, and particularly the sound system. Recommend it enough. It's probably why, well, BMW is such a huge brand. They could choose any sound system to go in their cars, and they've chosen Harman Kardon for very good reason. So, I almost forgot about the BMWs. On the BMWs, you have to do a 2-click release on the lever. So most cars you just do 1, BMWs you do 2. I suppose it's extra safety. So, did you see that? It's really easy to lift the bonnet, regardless of who you are, what strength you have. Getting in and accessing the engine or the plant is going to be so easy to do. You've got this gorgeous carbon fibre strut over the engine to give you that rigidity. It looks stunning, and overall it just pulls the car strong and sturdy. You have in this vehicle a 450 brake horsepower V6 twin turbo. So whereas the predecessor was a V8 naturally aspirated, in this one you have the V6 twin turbo. And what I can say about twin turbos is you get what I'd call almost like a roller coaster effect with the car. You get that injection into the back of you, and it feels exciting, exhilarating, because you get another level of power, another punch at say 3,000-4,000 revs. Whereas when you've got naturally aspirated, they're beautiful and they sound great and everything's natural about them, great, great, great. But you don't get that whoosh effect, what I call the BMW whoosh. Because when you hit those higher levels and those high gears, with those turbos kicking in, you do feel that impact of the turbos really going through the car. You feel it in the back of your body, you feel it in the headrest. You just get sucked in and you shoot forward and you get that second kick, a second wind with the turbos. So the setup's clean, it's easy to access, everything's marked and labelled obviously, so there's no confusion about where to put the water, for example. You're not going to need to spend much time in here because cars nowadays, we all go to professional mechanics, and I'd highly recommend to do so on these vehicles. After 1,000 to 1,200 miles, you do need to do a run-in service if you buy one new, or if you're buying one second-hand, just make sure the run-in service has taken place, particularly on these high-performance M cars. To close it, as you saw there, you literally just drop the bonnet because you do need to press it hard. Try and avoid, on the BMWs, try and avoid pushing down on the bonnet. You don't want to dent or bend the bonnet. Just literally let it drop. The weight will do its thing. And BMW have always assured me that's the way it's done. So inside the vehicle, as you can see here, you have absolutely gorgeous carbon fibre. Whenever people get in the car, they always comment and say, God, that's gorgeous, or that's stunning, that carbon fibre. And I can't deny it, it's absolutely beautiful. I love the amount of carbon fibre that's on this car. If we now jump to roughly where an adult would sit in the front comfortably, without having to change the seating position or having to compromise on comfort, let's demonstrate to you now how, say I'm 6 foot tall, and how I'd fit in the BMW as an adult in the front and then in the back. So I'll keep the seating position in the same position so you can get a real gauge as to how this M4 is so practical. Okay, so I'm an adult, I'm in the front, I've got my feet extended out. I have a couple of inches between my knee and the dash. My legs are fully out, as you can see. Can't get more comfortable than that. Okay, so to get in the back, what I love about the BMW is this feature here. You can literally stand here, push the seat forward. I know you think that's my power there, but it's just the button and the mechanism. So get in the back. So not only can I get in the back easily, but I can also let myself in easily and comfortably. So I now literally pull the car back to my seating position, and let's have a look. So I was about there when I was sitting. Whoops. I was about there. So as you can see here, I've got plenty of space. My knees are not touching the car seat in front. If you just come around here, you can see my knees are not touching the seat in front. Again, I've got about 2 inches from the knees point perspective. My feet are not getting squashed by anything under the seat. I've got space to wiggle and move my feet around. And overall, I'm comfortable. I can sit back, let my head rest against the headrest at the back. My hair is just about touching the top here. But I mean, I do have my hair sort of swift back, so maybe I'm more like 6'2" in height in terms of the hair. So, but that's just about touching, and overall I'm very comfortable in a full inclined position. I'm not crouched forward. I'm not in an uncomfortable state. I've got an armrest in the back here. You've got a cigarette lighter. You've got ventilation in the back. And because it's got the light interior, driving many cars, I've been in many interiors. I've been in blue, I've been in red, I've been in brown, black, white, Silverstone blue. And what I can say is this. A black interior is gorgeous and I love it for durability. I would say the other interiors can affect the interior feel of the car. So for example, here we have got white, sort of what I'd call white and black. I think it's gorgeous. I love white and black. So it's got a nice contrast, it looks smart, it looks modern, and it looks really cool. So in this one, I've got the Silverstone blue, and it's sort of like a bluey white, a bluey cream sort of colour. It looks really smart, really special. And you also have space for a magazine. So let's just pull the chair forward. Again, if you're in the back, super easy. I literally push that forward, lean forward, and get out of the car. There's nothing too hard about that, and that's why the BMW M4 is so popular and loved by all car enthusiasts. Okay, so of course in the BMW M4, the boot is in the back. Boot opens nice and smoothly. At the rear here, you'll see quite an advanced rear end setup because you've got the mechanical folding roof, which is automated. So to have the roof up, you can have the full space in the boot. If you want the roof down, you just literally lift this lid to protect where the roof collapses to and sits on this cover here. It's a brilliant system. It works really, really well. So you can still access deeper contents with the roof down, because you've got to think the roof will fold down and it'll be sitting here. So to get access to that content, you literally have two buttons here, just in the boot, and then that will lift or raise the whole boot up, and you can get to the back of any contents you need. It's an awesome setup in the rear and very cleverly designed. So literally, it's that easy to open or close the safety mechanism. But overall, if you want it down, you've got all the boot space you need. And this bit here, just make sure where the roof collapses to sits here. And then to reach the back, as you can see here, imagine we've got shopping in place and I'll get something at the back, I now can't very easily. However, because the roof will be here, I wouldn't be able to lift this up either. So that's where this mechanical masterpiece comes into place, and what it does is it lifts the whole boot up in the air when you hold it up like that, and you can reach straight at the back and get whatever you need out of the boot. The M4 is very practical, super stylish, awesome performance, and you'll always have a smile in your face. So if you're looking for an M4, go to Your Next Car online and search away.